Hi everyone, so this is my first ever video for drawing. I hope you enjoy it. Honestly, I wasn't sure what I was going to do at first, but I thought if my first video was to draw what I usually do, so basically cartoons, I thought the best example I could come up with would be Finn and Jake from Adventure Time. So let's start up. First, we're gonna need some guideline. So we got Finn and Jake, basically are quite simple character to draw, as you will see, but on the sides obviously they're kind of different. So I could have gone by doing just a straight character, like the two character. We get Finn on the long side and Jake next to him, but I don't want to do that. So what I'm gonna do is give them some action there. So I wanted to do something like, I don't know, let's say Finn is jumping up, so I'm gonna do a little main line for his back right there. I don't know if you can see. I might go for something darker so you can see what I'm doing. And yeah, I don't seem to have any erasable black, so well, let's go for a classic pencil. So we got a spine right there, and we got pretty straightforward the shoulder, so let's put it in there. And for the bottom right here. Okay, so basically Finn is quite simple. You got a box, and you got the top of his head, which is a little round up, not that much, just barely round up. So as you can see, I do a lot of line at first. It looks shitty at first, but you'll see when I get to it, it's gonna change up. There, just barely. Okay, so at that point, we got this basic line, which should look about this. And, well, right now, as you can see, it's still quite simple. I'm just gonna round that up at the bottom, just like a cylinder, basically. There's not much more into it than that. And you got basically the main shape of Finn. Sorry about the noise of my eraser. It's some kind of malleable eraser. I didn't used to use those, but I found out that they work real well actually. I should probably change that one soon though. It's starting to look like, well, I won't say the word. So let's keep to that. So we got his main shape with the top, and that's basically the main shape for Finn. Now for Jake, you want to put it pretty much the same way but shorter. So let's put it in there. I'm gonna put it a little higher because they're gonna do like some kind of high five, but while jumping or something like that. So we got here again. In this case, I won't do the spine though, because I don't want to go in there. And so we got that. And Jake is more round up though. So I'm gonna go there. Some people don't like to do like mini line like that, but in the end it doesn't really matter because those lines will be totally erased at the end. Just want to flesh it up. So contrary to some people, I know some people that tend to do like really fast work at first. I don't like to do that. I like to have something clear to work with. but it's just a matter of taste at that point. So if I go with this and like I said, really round up, kind of remind me of, I don't know, some kind of old toy they used to make that was a ball like that you could flip by moving the surface, or I don't know. I don't remember what it was called. If any of you remember that, just post it on the comments. I would like to remember the name of that thing. And here. So we got two shapes. Now, the fun part. Okay. So I know for Finn, his head is about, well, it's more rectangular, and for some reason it's split here because of his hat or whatever. Weird hat. I never could figure it out why they gave him such a weird hat. I'm just gonna fix that part. It's a bit too inside there. And we got, like, it's gonna turn a bit like on this side, so I will have to twist a bit with what I studied so far, because I used to do it like face forward. So I'm gonna try this. I didn't prepare myself for doing it on the side a bit, but we'll see. Let's do the same for Jake here, and just want to round this up a bit. There. Okay. So we got the two main base, I would say. For Finn, his arm are gonna come out about, let's say this is exactly like on well, his right side or left side. That would be like where half of his body come from. Same here, just to give me some basic guideline. So his arm would be about here, coming out from here. But you got a backpack, so we'll have to backward it a bit. And his backpack would go around. There. Maybe not exactly like that. I know his backpack come a little over here, just a little bit over. So if I do this, it's gonna be a little higher. There, kind of like that. Just go with the feeling. In the end, it doesn't matter if it's exactly like the character. Anyway, you're not the main artist, so just do it. If you see something that you don't like, don't be afraid to correct it, because anyway, in the end, it's your drawing, not someone else. And to be honest with you, the people that don't usually draw, when they see it, they're gonna enjoy it anyway, because they don't know all the details and stuff. So if I go back to the arm, his arm is gonna be something, I don't want to do something crazy on that side. It's gonna be just barely, because you got the weird arm. His arm, usually an arm, you will go like straight and then straight. Not for him. For some reason he got like a noodle arm. So let's go like that. So if I follow that line, we're gonna come up with something that look a bit weird, but apparently that's the way it's done. So here, I might do some fast forward for the main line stuff when I'm gonna redo it, so I don't get you bored or anything. Even that seems a bit thick, but whatever. Worst case, I'm gonna correct it later. There. And there. Okay. This backpack is like pretty much like just a regular thing. Never could figure out why it was rounded, but yeah, it's some kind of turtle backpack. He's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. No, not really. It would get beat up pretty fast, I think. Then again, you never know. Okay, so I get that. If I take a look at this, we got the bottom of his body. His leg, let's do like crazy, like something like that. I'm gonna go out of the page. Yeah, whatever. And this. Well, it's gonna be out of reach, but worst case, I'm gonna refocus later on. Okay. So, for his leg, it's quite simple. You got the baseline. You got his short, pretty much hand about here. So, don't make it too hard on yourself. Just put a line there. You got his short, which finished there, and about here you got his pants. And if we're gonna do like the shorts first, I like to start with easy parts. Since it's a bit on the side, I'm just gonna write that line, and the short's gonna come like a little in front of the rest here. And we got about the same size here, yeah. And here we go. That looked a bit weird. It's supposed to be on the back, so you see, that's what I mean. When you're not sure about something, don't be afraid to erase and redo it. So I think it should look more like this. And since I'm not doing exactly like the character, I'm gonna do a little something I like to do. It's more like, some of you might find it weird that I do that on Finn, but I want to try it. So let's see, like a fold in the pants, because he's pulling the pants up a bit. There. Here we go. Yeah, something like that. And let's get going the leg. And his leg is finished up in a strange way. You'll see. No, you won't see. Let me just refocus there a bit. Right here. Okay. Okay, that's better. So, his leg finish up. It's really curvy. So there's no knee, there's just curve here. Ends up kind of like this. Like here. And you got like a round up sock coming up right here. Okay. And finally the foot, which is really simple in this case. And that's it. Probably the ugliest foot I ever saw, but whatever, it's just a cartoon in the end, so it doesn't really matter. There. For the other legs, let's do something a bit similar. Curvy. Curvy. There, about here, whoop, sides. Sock. And finally the boot. Doesn't really matter if the boots is good looking or not, because as you'll see, it's gonna be black in the end. it's just gonna be a black shape. There. Okay, let's refocus a bit and let's go back here. Okay, so Finn with his funny hat got something, got like two here. I never could figure out why. Kind of looks like bear here, but it was like, it was raised by a dog, which doesn't make sense. Why we'll have bear here? Well, there. And the back one. And for his face is really simple actually. As you'll see, you got like just a round thing going on. I don't like the color. There. It was way too curvy. Okay, and now I have to correct this. Okay, for his face. Simple enough, as you'll see. You just have three things. Eyes. So let's put one here. And his eyes are really simple. Just black thing. Black, brown. There. Like that. Simple as that. And for his mouth, simple again. Just, oops, ew, that's ugly. There. Since I want to do something a little different here, let's retry this. I'm gonna keep the basic form I just did, and I'm just gonna flesh it out into an open mouth. There. If any of you have seen that show, you'll notice that Finn doesn't have all, it doesn't have all his teeth. Why? Probably he got beat up when he was younger, or in that place, which is kind of like, I don't know what you think about it, but like some kind of post-apocalyptic future where candy people rule the world. Anyway, it's a bit strange. So I'm guessing you don't have a toothbrush. So he got like three teeth right there, which is pretty ugly, but whatever. There. Okay, let's go back to Jake. One last thing though. I'm gonna do the basic line for his hand. They're gonna touch about here. So, isn't it simple? Just have like, usually on the other side, if I want to draw his hand, it's really dumb. Oh, I forgot one important thing. The sleeve. Okay. Okay, so his hand is simple enough. You got too large. Okay. You got one finger, two finger, three finger, and some kind of ugly tongue. Kind of like what I used to do when I was a kid. Oh God, your kid's drawing. Nah, maybe, you never know. Maybe it started like that. Some guy saw his kid draw and was like, oh, I'm gonna make a cartoon out of this and make money. We'll see. We'll probably never know actually, but yeah, it's fun to think about. So, as you can see, it's pretty fleshed out now. It's still pretty ugly because I didn't put all the time I should on it. For the backpack, I'm just gonna put some line here because I know I'm gonna need it later on. Okay, and maybe a little detail. Okay, all right. For Jake now, Yeah, I always forgot. I started the end, I'm gonna finish the end. Okay. So you got his hand going like that. That's a bit too curvy for my taste. Okay, so and just for the because I'm gonna do a small thumb right here. There. And let's put a piece of sleeve like that. Okay. As I do the final line before I do the main thing, you'll see I'm gonna probably redo most of it. So for Jake now, Jake is pretty simple also. You'll see you got a nose coming out here, a big round black nose like that, and for his mouth, you'll see it's almost stupid. It goes around like that, pretty far, and comes back about here. There. Just like that. I want to do open mouth also, so I'm gonna throw it a small line here. Jake doesn't miss any teeth, kind of like any dog I ever saw. So here we go. Well, some dogs miss teeth, but most of them don't. And there. Okay, for his ears, no, I'm gonna start with the eyes. Got pretty big eyes. You'll see they are kind of almost come out of his head. He's creepy when I think about it. Yeah. Creepy big eyes. Blech. And I'm gonna throw a tail in there. And like the other one, I'm gonna do like there. Here we go. You can already see that it's coming along. I'm just gonna choose a suggestion over here, back there, and is here, right about here. No, that's two down. Okay, his ear usually come up to probably 3/4 of his eyes, as you can see. And yeah, about that. So far, I'm pretty much going like how I feel it. And we got it, our Jake. Where's something that look like it at least. Probably not the best drawing you ever saw, but I'm gonna continue that way. I'm just gonna stop it for a second. My phone is gonna die on me, so I'm gonna plug it in. Alright, so let's continue where we were. My phone is plugged. It should last a bit. Hopefully it won't die because I'm not using this standard plug, but whatever. Okay, so now that we got the basic line, Jake is, as you'll see, got something a bit weird in his eyes. For some reason, most cartoon got like black in the middle. In this case, it's actually reversed. So I'm gonna do it this way. He's looking that way, so we're gonna do it that way. There. And there. Okay, so that's done. Let's keep going. I'm gonna do this arm. Jake, and you'll see, is actually simpler than Finn. I'm just gonna refocus a bit. Oh, okay, here we go. All you got is one thing. Small fingers. 3 small fingers. That's it. That's all. That's all you're gonna get. There's nothing else there. And right here. Okay. For his leg, it's also quite simple. Just gonna finish that part. So okay. So his leg, start. And got 2 things like that. Let's do the same on the other side. I do them really round up. Like I said, they don't seem to have any knee. They're just like spaghetti, arm and leg. And you got some kind of munchkin foot. And I'm gonna do this one like that. Okay, so we got all the main line. This seems to be pretty decent like that. So what I'm gonna do at this point, I'm gonna do some fast forward to redo all the line in black with my Prismacolor. As you'll see, this is not the final line, okay? It's something I put to give me a good line work that I can work with before I do the colors. I'm gonna explain a little why after that. So for a few minutes, I'm just gonna redo everything and maybe throw some detail as I go. Erase all the basic line I did first, but as you can see, it look a little more fleshed out like that. But first, so you can see clearly, I'm just gonna pull back the camera a bit. There. really easy the way it's attached. Okay, that seems to do the job. Okay, sorry about that. We don't see his leg, but whatever. Okay, so let's erase this a bit. As you can see, you'll see it's not really beautiful when I do that, but there's a reason why I do that. It's something I picked up over time, because usually I used to do inking before I did the coloring, and it doesn't happen with every kind of ink pen, but some of them tend to leak when I put color over them, and they're like just some kind of smudge, and it's really ugly and pretty much scrap the old drawing. So since I've been doing this that way, so I'm gonna start by doing Finn and then Jake. You'll see, I'm gonna explain a little at first. I might do some time lapse afterward. So let's start with Finn. So what I'm gonna use is those things. They are markers. They cost quite a lot. So if you plan to buy some, I know myself, I got a package of them on the website online. You'll have to look for it. I managed to get 120 of them for under $100. But usually they will cost about, I know at my art store they sell it about $4.50 each, which is quite expensive. Is it $4.50 or $2.50? Anyway, no matter, they are expensive. And obviously when you do a lot of drawing, I know, like, I work on a comic book right now, and the main characters, just for like skin color, I got 4 of them, and I know I'm gonna go through all of them eventually. So let's start by doing the face. As you'll see, there's 2 sides for the people that don't know them. You got some kind of flat line. I tend to use more that one though, except for small details. I would use the other tip. There are also like paint, like brush style. I got a few of those, but mostly in like the gray tone. You'll see it's some kind of brush, and when, well, if you've tried, you'll see it's, if you're used to do painting, stuff like that, you might prefer to use those. Or for details like, I don't know, if you do like a big drawing. I did a wolf at some point, and for the just like smoothness of his fur, I prefer to use the brush for that. Otherwise, it's just like a plain color. Then again, to do the coloring with those kind of things, you have to be careful, because you go through once, you'll get one color. If you go over again, you get a darker color. So you kind of have to go through it and then see what it looked like, and then come over again a second time, then a third, and well, until you're satisfied with it. You have to go smooth though, because if you go too fast, the color is gonna look weird a bit. There's gonna have some stroke in it. And there, for that also, if you try to do those kind of things, I would suggest that you use some kind of thick paper. Like myself, I use Bristol papers. They are a little more expensive than standard one, but as you'll see by using those, I've tried it on more standard paper like sketch paper, and the paper tend to wrinkle, and well, it's not cute, and pretty much damage the old purpose of drawing. It looks ugly on your wall, and well, you can get it. There. So as you could see, I went 2 times over it. It's not perfect, but you'll see when I do the inking. In this case, well, you got the face, and obviously we also need to do the arm and leg. So I'm gonna go right into it so I can finish up with that color. If you got any question how I do stuff or anything, don't be shy. I'm not the best, but I try to be good. People tend to like what I do. Well, most of them. Like anything, there's people that don't like what I do, and there's people that really like what I do, and obviously I like those people. But like anything, like I even heard I had some kind of few fan down in California. In case you're wondering, I'm actually from Montreal, so that's why the weird accent. I'm mainly French, but lately I tend to speak more in English, and I thought it would be easier to draw with in English, so people will more people would understand me. I might do a few in French at some point if I got some requests for it. Obviously, if I do that, you're gonna hear a few tabarnak and stuff like that. You know, French word. I never could quite understand what it exactly means. I know it's a religious word that got transformed into a swear, but I'm not really into religion or anything like that. Like most people around here, apparently. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it properly. I think you can, because the lighting is pretty strong. More I go over, the color tends to shift a bit and look better. You have to be careful, because right now you cannot. Maybe you can see it. I don't know, but around it here, I went too coating of color too fast, so there's a part of it that kind of like leaked out of the line. That's one of the reasons why I keep the final line work at the end, because that way I can correct those. Sometimes I can't, but worst case scenario, I also got something. It's not perfect, but that's kind of the job. It's a 0. I don't know. Apparently it's a blender, but also can be used to erase a color a bit. There, see? You don't barely see it anymore. It's a trick I've picked up. It's a bit weird as a trick, but I never could manage to make the blender work for me, so there you go. You can erase color with it. So here, you won't see what I'm doing down here, but I'm just finishing the legs. I'm gonna refocus later on, because I don't think I need to refocus just to one leg. You saw me do both arm, and that was good enough. And it's noisy sometimes. So there, one leg. And personally, I prefer to work with the broad side, because I don't know, it's with the flat part, it's easier for some reason. Like I said, depend. If you got a lot of details, well, yeah, you could use the other tip because it's smaller. But personally, I use mostly that side. I didn't used to, but when you get better and better, you tend to find your own pace and your own way of doing things. I don't pretend to be the best at drawing, but I pretend to be able to learn from my mistake in the past, because I got a few drawings that I messed up, that I was pissed about, especially one. I could show you if I find it back. I'm gonna try to find for my next tutorial, and you'll see what I mean. So I'm done with the body color for the skin. Now, let's see. Might as well do the backpack right away. Backpack got 2 colors. If you wonder, oh, by the way, if you wonder which color I was using, well, like I said, it's those kind of pencil touch. The one I tend to use the most is this one, the R131. For the skin, I prefer that one. If I had some shadow to do, like in my characters, when I do shadows, I tend to use the YR26. It's a pastel peach. It's maybe not the best for shadow, but I like the result with that one. So that's the one I keep. Okay, now, funny enough, the color I'm gonna use are some color that I regularly use, and I think I'll need to buy some new one before they run out. So, here, that's probably the only moment you're gonna see me use the smaller tip, but there is a reason for that. It's because here, I will have 2 colors. I will have a pale one right at the top here, and as you can see, I need to be careful around here. One more thing, when you do stuff like that, like lines and stuff, and you know you'll have to color part of it, but you have to go around a lot of parts. Be careful, because don't forget that more you go over, more the color will change. So you have to be at the same time fast, and don't let it dry up before you get to the other side. Like in this case, it's not so bad because it's kind of small part that I have to color. But for example, I did some kind of T-Rex a few weeks ago. If you go on my website, on my Facebook, I should say, you're gonna see it. You'll see the color is not perfect because it was one color all over, and I had to go like back and forth, and it was kind of hard to make it look good. In the end, it doesn't really matter because it was a gift and she really liked it anyway. But usually I would probably have retried. I was working on something else also that I might get into in the next few weeks. I want to go back on it and finish it up. You'll see it's pretty crazy stuff. It's something I wanted to do a tutorial about. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it because it's too complex, I think. Well, I barged my head on that project for a while and got a few headaches trying to figure it out. Maybe some of you know about those kind of stuff, cube craft. I used to do those when I was in school and learning like graphic design and stuff. For your information, I've never learned drawing in a school, never taken a lesson for it. I just draw and got better and better and better, and I hope I'm gonna keep getting better because I'm not at my top now, I hope. Or I'm screwed. But anyway, what I was saying is that if you know any cube craft, like I say, I used to do those when I was a few years ago, when I started to learn about computer drawing and stuff. And well, that was about a month ago, maybe a month and a half, I don't know, go check it out if you want. I was following one of the artists on YouTube I tend to follow, which is called Mark Cryer. I'm gonna put a link in the description if you want. And he's really good, actually. You'll see. We don't do exactly the same stuff, but he's pretty good. And at some point he did some cube craft, and I was like, hey, why not me? Why not do something further than that? Because I used to do it all the time. So cube craft for me, it's kind of like redundant, because I used to do like people I knew and stuff, and I got pretty good at it, but I stopped because I got tired of it. So obviously I don't want to redo something I'm tired of. So like I said earlier, I did a dinosaur. If you go look at it, you'll see it's not that complex. It's pretty simple. It's kind of funny actually. It was the dinosaur was actually totally an idea from my roommate, who it was her birthday, so that's why I made it as a gift. But every detail was her idea. She didn't see the end result before it was actually finished, but the sneakers, the t-shirt, the donut, everything, you'll see. She decided of all those details. And then I was like, okay, how can I do something more than a cube craft? So it came to me. What's crazier than doing like full shape drawing that I can fold afterward? Well, do something further than that. Not square. Do an actual dinosaur in three-dimensional with like shapes and stuff. And I've been working on it for a while. It's in my room actually, because I was trying to do it without noticing. I've never managed to finish it in time, and then I got into other projects. So basically right now it's a bunch of paper with cuts and stuff that doesn't look like anything for now. Well, the head is pretty done, but I did the head, the neck, and I was getting to the body. But as you can figure out, I didn't finish it. So I'm gonna go back into it soon, I think, depending how people respond to this video. And we'll see afterward. If anyone want to see it, I'm gonna try to finish it. And well, to make it easier for all of you guys, I'm gonna do a blueprint on the computer and well, all those kind of stuff. So you can not only follow me in the video, but since it's really complex with small details, you'll be able to actually print it and draw it and fold it and whatever and whatnot. Okay, as you can see, my blue is starting to look a bit palish. It's not really good anymore. Damn. I have to go back over it. That's the tricky part with those kind of things. When you use them more than once, at some point they tend to look crappy. So I guess this one is going to be the last time I'm going to use it. I'm going to need to go get a new one. Good thing I was planning to go to the art store for some ink and pencil, because I use those a lot. Well, it's not gonna be perfect, as I said, but that's the best I can do with the color I still have in it. And it makes a crazy noise when it's almost dry. Maybe you noticed that they don't seem to be identical to the one I showed, the skin one. They're actually larger, because those are the old one. That's probably why I got it cheap. One or two of them were not working really well. Actually, if I look, I did a chart when I got them, so I know exactly how the color would look like on a paper. And I think there was about two of them that weren't working properly, and one that for some reason I tried it like a week ago, and it was dried out. It wasn't working in well. It was dead. So I will have to change. Anyway, there. I'm sorry for the chair. It makes a lot of noise. I will need some jiggle or something. Okay, so the pens now. The pants, the pants. Put your pants up in the air. No, that's not that. It's your hands up in the air. That's another color I tend to use a lot because it kind of reminds me of jeans, like dark jeans. I don't like pale one. They look weird. Well, maybe except on a girl. A girl with a nice butt. Yeah, why not? You look nice with anything, mostly. Oh yeah, so something happened the other day. Might as well tell a story. My roommate is starting dating a guy, and she tended to wear black leggings, and she looked really good in it. And yeah, and she dressed pretty nicely usually. And at some point, she was like, she wore some kind of oh god, I can't call that. Sometime I will search my words since I'm French. I don't know every English word, obviously, but was like squared shirt, like red, like a lumberjack, and she put that with the leggings. It was pretty weird, actually. I kind of think she started to wear that because her date slash boyfriend slash I don't know is wearing that most of the time. But it doesn't look good. Not with leggings, at least. Maybe jeans, not leggings. Then again, it's never Taylor style, but what do you know? She does what she wants, huh? And we got our pants. Usually we'll go a few more, like one more time to flesh out really the color, but I don't want to bore you with that. So I'm just gonna go that way. Maybe do like earlier, clean a bit that went over. Please work. Kind of, yeah, not bad, not bad. Okay, so we fin is pretty much done. Just missing the boots, which are black, like I said. You won't see it because it's just black. So I'm just gonna cover the boots here. There. Actually, when I started to work on the idea of doing a video, the one thing that I was mostly worried about was finding something to talk about. As you can see, it ended up that it came by itself. It's weird to talk to ourselves, but whatever. I guess I'm crazy anyway. If you're looking about for other good videos, other good YouTuber, like I said earlier, Mike Riley is a real good one. You also have a few books about. There's one I bought actually. I was always pretty terrible at mangas for some reason. I couldn't pinpoint my head around it. I could do portraits, comic, mangas, never. I couldn't pull it off. It was ugly every time. So, at some point, I was listening to his video. I was like, might as well buy one of his book that was called Mastering Manga. And I got good with mangas into, well, about 2 weeks, which is pretty good actually. So he's a good teacher. So if you want to see someone that is good, go see him. That's all I can say. I wouldn't be here doing that video right now if it wasn't from him. I followed his video for more than 2 years now. So, I almost forgot the most important part. His eyes. His ugly black eyes. Creepy. It's actually kind of weird because I used to do really good eyes, and it's really weird for me to. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the inside for later on after the inking. Since it's black and the inking is black, doesn't matter if you do it before or after. And well, I don't think so. Not in my case. I'm gonna put back you'll see, I might show it at some point. I got a rack for all my markers and I put them by numbers, and it goes pretty far. I think I got a rack that can support about 200 right now. It's not full, obviously. It would be crazy to fill it up, but I got some spare space, but not that much. Okay, Jake is simpler for the colors. We got what I call lemon yellow. Yeah, I just hope there's enough left. I use it a lot lately. Oh yeah, seems to be good. Some people would be like, he's orange. Yeah, but lemon yellow is kind of like a dark yellow. And after looking at him for like a day, doing another project that I will probably post later on, well, you'll see. It's some kind of little welcome gift I did. My roommate went away for, I don't know, for more than a week at some point. She was with her boyfriend, and I don't know, we didn't spoke much for that week, even though we did some kind of training at work, but we didn't speak outside. Don't ask why, it's a long story. But yeah, I did some kind of welcome home sign with all the Adventure Time character, well, the one I preferred, and it was pretty good actually. It was really just a random idea I had, but it came out pretty good. The proof is that it's still up on our wall. She never took it out. That was just one random idea. I tend to do that. I get an idea, I do it just for no good reason really. Kind of like one time I did a Pikachu. If you go on my webpage again, like I said, you're gonna see it. It was just a random drawing I did because of someone gave me the idea, and what do you know, it was useful in the end, because around Christmas it was in my backpack, and some girl was my cousin girlfriend, and she had a bad time, so I wanted to cheer up, and I just gave it to her. She was really happy. Well, she looked happy. I hope she was. And I think I made her day that day. Because in the end, a drawing is just a drawing. It's supposed to make someone happy. It's kind of like, I don't know, a song. If you do a song but you keep it for yourself, what's the point? There. I'm gonna try to do more and more stuff like that. I'm starting to think that maybe I should do some time lapse sometime. Well, if you stayed this far, it's because I'm not that boring. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Here I smooch it up a bit, but it doesn't matter. It's gonna be black in the end, so whatever. As you can see, with a better color, it looked good. Actually, the blue didn't look bad. It's a bit weird, but it's not bad. You can also sometime mix up media. I know sometime when I need to do like shadowing and stuff. I'm not gonna do any this time because I don't want to. But for shadows, the marker, if you go over another time, like maybe 2 other coating, you can do a pretty good shadow with the same color. For some color, not all of them. Otherwise, I know I've tried it a few times. I would put like really like a pencil like that. Just standard pencil. You can do a good job with that. Use it on a few projects so far. And add a little style. You can mix them up. Also, personally, I won't do it in this case because it's not the goal here, and I don't see how I could use it anyway. But when I do shadowing, there's two sides of it. You do the shadow itself, but there's the other way around, the lighting. Don't forget that there's an opposite to everything. You got, if for example I had the shadow down here, I will need to do a light up here at the other side. But that's the case for every piece of the body. You have to think. Before you do a color, you have to think. Like if I wanted to do a shadow, before I put like the yellow, I would have started probably in my case, since those kind of colors are easy to come from light to dark and not the other way around, I would probably have put like lighter yellow at top, on the side, probably side here, and top of the arm, leg. Then do that one, and finally do a real shadow. Three-tone. Obviously, if you're into it, you can go even further than that. The blender is actually used for that mainly. So you can use like color that don't usually mix up, because in my case, I would do really a shadow line. But with a blender, you can mix two colors, so you do really like a real shadow. In comics, it's not usual, but I guess some people could do it if they want to create some kind of unique style. I don't judge. I did some weird stuff also. I came from realist to cartoons to weird stuff I don't even want to mention. But whatever. Okay, so all I'm missing here are, I'm gonna go just slow here. Yeah, we'll do the fins mount the same way, I think. There. There. And last but not least, as you see, I'm pretty much finishing up coloring. You have to be careful though. When you mix, you put a color next to another color, be careful, especially if it's a pale one. If it was still wet around here, would have like blended a bit. I found out the hard way, and it becomes quite ugly, and that is bad when you just work almost an hour on something. Actually more than an hour at this point. I'm looking at it. I've been on this for an hour and then 15 minutes or so. Okay, so now at this point, what I'm gonna do, some time lapse to finish it up, so you guys can see what it looks like. Just before I do so, where do I put it? Okay, I'm using for the inking micron. I don't want to judge. I love those, but I've bought a lot of them, and for some reason, maybe it's that I'm unlucky, but a lot of them tend to not work really fast. They dry up or whatever. Might be just like us. I got like, there's two I still got that I've been using for a year and they still work. Then the new one I bought, they died in really fast. I don't know. So I'm gonna do some time lapse here, time lapse. Bloop. I'm gonna finish that up, make it look good, and be back with you.
In the land of Ooh is a candy kingdom whose sidewalks you can eat. And everyone who lives in there is made of something sweet. There are many candy people, far too many for to name. But if you care to take a dare, we'll try it just the same.
You sure?
Mr. Cupcake and Starchy, as strong as they can be. Pineapple Guy and Peppermint Butler have musicalities about that Peppermint Butler, a peculiar type of guy. And once a drop of spicy serum fell into his eye. Cinnamon Bun is a lot of fun when he's not falling down. Chocolate and Chet have icing on their crowns. Doctor's Ice Cream and Donut will fix you up real well. There's even a nurse pound cake to keep you feeling swell. Dr. Dexter showed up once at the science barbecue. Made a speech, then grumbled something, and off again he flew. Earl of Lemon-Grab can be a crab, he rides a sour horse. There's Taffy Girl and Candy Bar Guy and Man-Fried, of course. What? Colonel Candy Corn and Candy Cane Guy are not the best these days. Lollipop Girl and
Alright, so now the inking is pretty much done. I'm just gonna finish up his eyes a bit. As you could see, I know some people tend to say in other video that it's better to do like a straight line with when you're inking. Don't go back and forth like I did. It's true for some people that it's better, but try to do a perfect line doing that. It's pretty much impossible. So that's why I'm doing that way. It's not as good, but it's part of my style now actually. As you can see, it's pretty much weird lining. It looks like a drawing that way, I think. Depending on the drawing, sometimes I will take more my time to do better line. Sometimes I will use smaller size. I would even go as deep as 0.05 sometime when there's a small detail I don't like. But that's really when you want to do something almost perfect. Usually I would only do that for like my cartoons, my personal cartoon. If it's for a project like that, I don't really bug myself with it. It's just basically to teach you guys how to draw those characters. So as you can see, it's pretty much done. We got Finn and Jake. No shadow, just plain Finn and Jake. Well, if you look at their videos and the TV show, they don't have much shadow actually. It's kind of weird in a way. I'm pretty much done here. If you got any comments, anything, just post it on. You can go like my page. I will really appreciate that. I will try to keep those things coming. I'm planning to do at least, well, I'll try to do one a week. Maybe I might skip a week sometime because I got a lot of work. And obviously, I'm not making a penny with that. So it's really just for you I'm doing that. And for myself. One thing I didn't say yet, I just remembered it. I don't know why I didn't say it. I've been working for an hour and a half on that. And well, I'm not gonna tell you my name, but as you'll see, I'm called the Chemise. It's my artist name. There's a long story behind it. And I think it's pretty classy actually. So don't forget to like it. Go on my Facebook page if you want to see more. And yeah, follow me up. Thank you for this video. One more thing that I want to say is thanks to Mark Riley. I might not see my video, but still, I'm really pleased that thanks to him, I'm doing that now. I would have never tried it if it wasn't from him. So thank you, and